there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, we are talking about authenticity. And today, I want to talk about finding your authentic voice. In this age of AI, this is more important than ever because if you haven't noticed, everybody's kind of starting to sound like everybody. They're all sounding the same. Why? Because they're all using the same AI-generated content. So if you're tired of sounding like everyone else, then pay attention a little bit here, because this is where we're going to help you add that unicorn factor into your voice and have you authentically stand out as you. Question: have you ever posted something and then immediately went and deleted it because you're like, this doesn't sound like me at all? You know, I have to say a lot of people are doing that a lot more often, because they post something and then they're like, this is like crap. This is not me. And when it all comes down to it, at the end of the day, what are your clients actually buying from you? They're buying, yes, they're buying that transformation, that change, that help that only you can give. But why are they picking you? Because they know that you're the right person to be able to guide them on whatever journey that is, because you are authentically you and have the knowledge to do that. Now, if you start showing up like somebody else, maybe because you're using AI, maybe because you're copying somebody that, you know, there's some bigwig out there in the marketplace, there's a lot of them, and they say, hey, model my stuff, follow this exactly, you know, use this template, just use the same words and just change it to your name. By the way, never, ever, ever do that. And there's a lot of big time coaches out there that say, hey, I'll give you all the templates. You can pay all this money. I will give you all the stuff. All you need to do is fill in the blanks with your name and what it is that you do, and then just send it out that way. I'll tell you, I can pick out most of the main gurus' content across the board. When it comes to looking at posts, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is this person. This is this person. Oh, this one was trained by that person. Easy to tell, because they're not writing the stuff. The other person is. They're just putting their name on it. That is not authentic at all. So why does it sometimes feel like finding your voice is hard? Well, because that's how we've been trained. We listen to these big gurus that are out there that say, this is how you do it. Do it like this. Put it in these words. Say it like this. Make sure you're using this specific model. And we start doing that. And I get that. That's great training. However, it's not your words. So the words never feel right. You know, it's basically like it's the borrowed voice versus your authentic voice. So question, are you using someone's borrowed voice? Maybe a coach or consultant you've been working with, or some big guru, you know, you went to a big training. You know, I'm not going to call out names here, but there's lots of them out there. So think of any of those big gurus and how they teach you. Are you using a borrowed voice from them, or are you actually using your authentic voice? Here's 3 signs that your content isn't authentic. The first one is you create something and then you're like, oh man, I really don't want to post this. You're dreading posting it. You're like, are people going to like this? Are people going to think it's okay? Are people not going to like it? Is nobody going to engage? You just dread creating it. If that's the case, chances are pretty good it's not authentically you. When it's authentically you, you love to create it because you're saying it in your voice, your way, and it just flows out. It's not work. When you're using someone else's voice, when you're borrowing that authenticity from somebody else, is borrowed authenticity even real? Huh. When you're borrowing that voice from someone else, you know, it doesn't feel right to you. You dread creating that. So when you do it in your own authentic voice, You love creating it. Now, the next number 2 is if it sounds like everyone else in your niche. So if you're a coach or a consultant, maybe you're a nutrition coach, and you look at other nutrition coaches that are out there, and you're like, wow, it's like, I could probably just take their post and slap my name on it, and it just sounds like them. Everybody sounds like everybody else. That's number 2, that it's not your authentic voice, because your true authentic voice does not sound like anybody but you. You have a unique authentic voice, and it's about finding that, and it's about using that we're talking about here. If you ever hesitate, number 3, if you ever hesitate before hitting publish, that's the 3rd sign that it's probably not your authentic voice. So how do you start getting it into your authentic voice? How do you get it to sound authentically like you? Well, when you create something, read it out loud. Sit there in front of your computer and read whatever it is you wrote out loud. If it doesn't feel right to you, or you're like, I would never say that like that, then guess what? Not your authentic voice. Time to reword it. When you say it out loud, that's when it really feels it. You feel it in your gut. You feel it in your gut. It's like, oh man, this is just not me. You will feel the inauthenticity if it doesn't sound like you. So read it out loud. And then the next thing you can do is pick one of your core beliefs. What are your core beliefs that you hold most dear? Integrity, authenticity, and transparency are my top 3. What are your top 3 core beliefs? Pick one of them and use that. Use that. Let it show up in your content. Your voice and your personality are the system for your content. It's not about using somebody else's authenticity. That's their authenticity. That's how they are. And that's great for them. But you're not them. You're you. You need to pull out that unique thing that makes you you and let the world know about it. So what are the fears that hold people back from doing this? Well, the biggest fear is, what will people think if I sound different from everyone else? They get kind of nervous and they start thinking, what if they don't like me? What if they don't like me if I talk the way I normally talk? When you write your content like you're talking to a friend across the table, or a trusted colleague across the table, and you're having a business conversation or whatever. Say it how you'd say it. Don't clean it up. Don't gussy it up. Don't, polish it up to make it sound right. It sounds right the way it is authentically coming from you. That is what attracts people to you. That's what attracts people to you and your products and services, because they relate directly with you and they know you're not fake. You're not made up. You're not using somebody else. You are being you. Show up authentically as you, and people will think, wow, she does sound different. I actually like that because she sounds different. That is the whole point of your authenticity, right? And your uniqueness. And that is how you stand out from the crowd. Will some people maybe not like it? Will some people be offended by it? Some people use some very colorful words when they do their content. And you know what? They attract the right people that fall right into the way they teach, the way they sound, the way they talk, and they're all good with that. Other people like going out with a booming voice, and that's how they are. Authentically, that's who they are. That they normally like that. They attract those people that like that. Other people are very soft-spoken. And they attract those people that are looking for what they have. You want to attract the people that work best with you. And in order to do that, you have to show up authentically as you with your authentic voice. So remember that being different and coming out as you authentically is actually what makes people remember you. It is your unicorn factor. So today, I want you to go out and look at those posts that you're doing or those conversations that you're having. Are you showing up authentically as you, or are you showing up as you think they want you to show up? If it's the latter, then you need to think about that and maybe reframe what you're doing and how you're doing it, and own your authentic voice. Show up as you authentically. Unleash that unicorn factor and let people know who you really are. Trust me, it will make you stand out from the crowd, and you will attract the right people to your business. That's what I've got for you this week. We'll see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.